Alright fans, we're here for the SCW press conference for the main event, steel cage match. We have the #1 contender Ricky Ruckus and the current SCW champion Damien. Ricky, give us some of your thoughts on this match leading next week.
First, I want to start off by saying that if you're going to sit too close, you probably need to get some Tic Tacs. So please, give me about 1 foot that way.
There's no room.
Okay, I'll go this way. His breath stinks, and I'm like. Now about the match. What else can be said about that match? I mean, we both talked all the crap we can talk, say what we can say. We fought, we've tagged together. So at this point, there really is no more room for talking. Now, I have nothing else to say, but he's looking pretty comfortable with that belt. So I'd kick your girlfriend out of bed tonight and give it to bed the rest of the week because it's the last time you're going to see it.
Thoughts on the match? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I did hear Ricky's thoughts on the match. And Ricky's right. I do look comfortable with this belt. So comfortable, in fact, that I might kick my girlfriend out of bed and bring his over so she can share it. But you know what, Ricky? Next week, all bullshit aside, I'm going to beat you from pillar to post, beat you bloody, and I'm going to be the first one out of the cage.
Well, there you have it, Ricky. This is a first blood match, steel cage. Got to make him bleed before he can escape the cage. What do you think about potentially bleeding in the ring?
Well, if you remember correctly, I was the one that came up with that stipulation. So obviously, I'm not too worried about it. If I was worried about bleeding, possibly getting hurt, I wouldn't put myself in a cage match with someone that big and that ugly. You know, he ain't got nothing to lose. Look at him. He can get cut up, tore up. He'll always be Damien, big oaf-looking doofus. So the fact of the matter is, I ain't worried about bleeding. Because when I get out of the cage, bleeding or not, going to the hospital, when I'm laying in there with the IV in my arm, I'm going to have that belt in my other arm.
Alright, let's field some questions from the audience here.
Damien, does blood affect you in any way if you bleed at all?
No, it doesn't affect me. And that's what Ricky's afraid of.
Ricky Ruckus, do you think you can stay away from Damien's strength in the cage?
Well, last time I checked, they didn't have a pie eating contest in the cage, so I don't think I have to worry about that too much. But when the thing is, when you're in a cage with someone that big, you know, there's really nowhere to run. So, and I'm not looking to run from Damien. I haven't ran from him. How long have we been going at it now? How many months? I haven't yet run from him once. Matter of fact, I'm usually the one coming out and calling his big ass out. So obviously, we know who's the one that's scared of the other one.
Hey, Ricky, does it bother you that last cage match we had, Damien won it?
Well, as a matter of fact, the last cage match we had, there was about 6, 7 other people in there with me. So, the fact is, I couldn't just worry about his big ass. I had a bunch of other people to worry about. This time it's going to be different. It's going to be one-on-one. And I think I've proven over time when it's one-on-one, me against anybody, we know who's coming out on top every time.
Ricky Ruckus, at Surviving the Steel, Damien pretty basically eliminated everyone. And last year at Surviving the Steel, Damien eliminated everyone. Doesn't that have you worried at all?
Hey, did you plan some of these questions? Look, anybody in their right mind knows that when they get in the ring with Damien, all kidding aside, he's no joke. The dude's 6'6", 400 pounds. He's been a champ for a reason. But there's a reason I'm #1 contender. That's because I'm the best there is. Not the best of what best there will, but I'm the best there is right now. So, and come Saturday night, I'm going to have the goal to prove it.
Damien, in what ways are you going to prepare for the steel cage match?
What ways am I going to prepare for this cage match? Prepare for it just like every other match. I know what Ricky does in and out of the ring, and while I don't approve of what he does outside the ring, when he's inside the ring, he's just like anybody else. He can get beat on any given night.
Ain't that easy.
Damien, are you worried that Mr. 812 is in Ruckus's corner now and used to be in your corner?
That little midget, that's run his course. Mr. 812 is nobody to me. He thinks he knows everything there is to know. He don't know jack.
Damien, knowing Ricky Ruckus' track record in high-profile matches in Supreme Championship Wrestling, aren't you just the least bit nervous going into this cage match?
His track record, last I looked, I beat him every time we've been in the ring. And when he did beat me, it was with the help of Eric Draven, who came in and counted the 3 count.
him, I still beat him.
Ricky Ruckus, what does 812 advise you for this match?
Well, I'm not going to go into detail about it because that would obviously be kind of stupid. But let me just tell you that I already know it well enough as it is, but now I know a few things that the only person that would know is someone training like Mr. 812. And we know when you start going to the top is when he was in your corner. So I think you realize that he knows some things about you didn't want him to know. So, and I'm going to use every one of those to my advantage because I'm walking away with that belt. There's no more questions. I want to get out of here. I'm kind of hungry.
I have a question. Where did you get that shirt? You come in here and outshirt me?
That's not hard. You shot up the hill on a good wheel.
All right. We fielded questions from the audience. That was one thing. One thing left to do. Sign the contract for the match.
Ooh.
We're going to be here all night. You'll let him try to read it.
There you go. The champion is signed. Now the number 1 contender needs to sign also.
See my free keyboard and something. I thought we talked about that.
It's official. Next week, Supreme Championship Wrestling, the heavyweight title on the line. First blood, steel cage match.